Okay. And now we have this piecewise function, number 2. They ask us to give the function p of x equals 6x minus 5, 6x plus 5. And that defined for x less than -3. And the second function is 2x squared minus 3x minus 4. And is defined between -3 and 2. And the last one, x minus 40, is defined for x greater than or equal to 2. And what we're going to do, let's draw okay, let's draw a line here. And we have a negative infinity to infinity. And we have three numbers. We have two numbers. We have -3. We have a 2 here. And let's say for this one, from negative to -2, you have 6x plus 5. And on that one, we have 2x squared minus 3x minus 40. And for this one, we have x minus 40. Okay? And let's say, let's look at -7. -7 fall on the set of negative infinity to -3. -7 will be here. And 1 will be between -3 and 2. And 5 is greater than 2 is here. That means now, if we have to find p of -1, what we have to do is to plug p of -7, sorry, -7. What we have to do is to plug -7 in the first function here. And that will be 6 times -7 plus 5. And that is -42 plus 5. And that will be and -37. And if we do p of 1, if we do p of 1, calculate p of 1, that we'll be using the second one, which is 2x squared. That means 2 times 1 squared, 1 squared, and minus 3 times 1 minus 40. And that will be 2 times 1 is 2 minus 3 minus 40. And that will be 2 minus 1. 2 minus 3 is -1. That would add up to -41. And finally, p of 5 will be using the third function, which is x minus 40. That will be 5 minus 40. This is -35. Is that okay with that for everyone? Hello? All right. We move to the next one. And now we have to graph the piecewise function. And what I suggest you to do is to have an XY table for each one. XY for the first one, which is x minus 1, y equals x minus 1. And the second XY table for this one, which is XY table, it will be y equals -6 and a third XY table that will be XY and X, and the Y is 2X minus 8. Okay, now I like start with my boundary like -5, X is -5, and we can take anything below -5. Below -5 could be -6 or -7. Let's take -7. Okay, and for that one, I would take -5 because it's the boundary, and that would be say have 1 as one boundary. And the third one, I start with 1, and I can take anyone, like I choose 4. And now we plug in here -5, that means my Y will be -5 minus 1, which is -6. And I put my -6, that is 1 point. And when X is -7, Y will be -7 minus 1, that will be -8. And I have -8 here. And here, plug in X equals -5, then so it will be -6. And if it's 1, it will be -6. That's a straight line. That's a horizontal line function. And this one will be 2 times, for X equals 1, that will be 2 times 1, 2 times 1 minus 8, and that should be 2 minus 8, which is -6. And for X equals 4, Y will be 2 times 4 minus 8. And 2 times 4 is 8, 8 minus 8 is 0. And that means I have -6 for this one and 0 for that one. Let's start with the first one. And it's -5 over here. And when X is -5, Y is -6. And the first point is -5, -6 over here. Okay. And this is a dot, because a closed circle, because we have less than or equal. And the next point was -7, -8. That means we move 2 here and we go -8. Okay. And that should be my line. Okay. All right. Let's do for the next one. -5 will be -6 as well, and 1 will be -6. And now we just draw the horizontal line at Y equals -6. And this supposed to have a closed circle as well. And the last one, for X equals 1, Y equals -6, same thing. And for X equals 4, Y equals 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, Y equals 0. And this is the line. Okay. Pass it. All right. This is the way what I suggest you to do is always try to have a XY table for each function and graph it in the particular area, the given domain, and that the way you get the piecewise function graph. If any question, we go to the next one. And a patient has an illness that typically lasts about 24 hours. The temperature T, capital T, is in degree Fahrenheit of the patient T hours after T hour, lowercase t, hours after the illness begin is given by, we have T, capital T of small t equals 0.0576 t squared plus 0.8 t plus 96.9. Okay? And they asked to find to use the calculator to graph the function, but the question say, what does the patient temperature reach? When does the patient temperature reach its maximum value? And we know at that time we have the maximum. We can use the vertex formula. Using the vertex formula, we have x, the x vertex is negative b over 2a. In this case, a is negative 0.00576 and b is 0.8. And the x, the temperature they ask for will be negative b. Since b is positive 0.8, negative b will be negative 0.8, 0.8 divided by 2 times a, 2 times negative 0.0576. And when we calculate that, and let's use a calculator, but we have negative 0.8 divided by 2 times negative 0.0576. And that's give me, and the answer come out to and 6.9. Okay, at 6.9 seconds, the temperature will be maximum. And what is the maximum temperature on the illness part? The maximum temperature will be the T of 6.9. In this case, we just have to use negative 0.0576 times 6.9 squared plus 0.8 times 6.9 plus 96.9. And using the calculator, that will be negative 0.0576 times 6.9 squared and plus 0.8 times 6.9 plus 96.9. And that is 99.7. 99.7. This is the maximum temperature. Okay? And this is so simple. You just use the vertex formula, which is x equals negative b over 2a. Identify your a and your b then in the equation. And now the t will be negative b in this case, which is 0.8 divided by 2 times a, which is 0.576, and it come out to 6.9. And what is the patient maximum temperature? Is the temperature of the x vertex. T of the t vertex, that will be 99.7. Any question? Okay. And we have to find the vertex of the function of this function. And can anyone help with that? Hello? Can anyone help with that? All right. Let's do it together. And the vertex formula is x equals negative b over 2a. And my a is negative 2. My b is 6. And I have c equals 14. I'm not going to use that one. And my x will be negative 6 minus 6, negative 6 over 2 times negative 2. And that will be negative 6 over negative 4. That will be 6 over 4, and 6 over 4. Simplify. 2 goes into both. That will be 3/3, 3/2, sorry. 3/2 will be the x vertex. Okay, and now the y vertex will be f of 3/2, and the x vertex f of 3/2, that means we have negative 2 times 3/2 squared plus 6 times 3/2 plus 14. And that will be negative 2 times 9 over 4 plus 6 times 3 is 18 over 2 plus 14. This one becomes negative 9 over 2. Simplify here. And 18 over 2 becomes 9 plus 14. And 9 plus 14 is 23. 23. You have negative 9 over 2 plus 23. And when we multiply by 2, divide by 2 here, that will be minus 9 plus 46 over 2. And negative 9 plus 46, 46 minus 9 is 37, is negative 37, negative 37 over 2. And the vertex is, we call it V, is x equals 3/2, and y equals -37/2. And the next one, they say an object is thrown upward at a speed of 135 feet per second by a machine from a height of 15 feet off the ground. The height of the object offered after t seconds can be found using the equation. The equation is h of t equals -60 squared plus 135t plus 15. And when will the object reach the maximum height? And we can use decimal. We can also just use the quadratic formula. Since we use the 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 vertex formula twice, let's go to decimal and look at this one. It's -16 t squared plus 135t plus 15. And let's go to decimal. And say y equals -16x, because we have to use x here, x squared plus 135t x and plus 15. And you see the vertex right here. And if we use the vertex formula, oh, you don't, okay, you say it. Let's go back to, if we use the vertex formula, and what we have to do is to identify my A is -16, my B is 135, and when that means my T will be -B over 2A. That means -B, that means -135 over 2 times -16. That would be 135 over 15, which is 9. Sorry, it's 135, 16 times 2, 135 over 16 times 2. It is 4.218. And I can use this calculator also. And okay, should be 135 over 32. 4.2. Okay, and that means what I have here is 4.2. And what is this maximum height? Is h of 4.2 will be the maximum height. That means let's go back to a calculator, the online calculator here. I have negative 16 times 4.2 and plus 135 times 4.2 plus 15. It's 514.8. $514.8. Okay. And when the object will reach the maximum height, is to find the t by using the vertex formula and plug in the answer here to find the maximum height. And now when the object will reach the ground and h of t should be 0 at this time. That means negative 16t squared plus 135t plus 15 equals 0. And this case, we can use the quadratic formula. T equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, and that will be, my b is 135, that will be negative 135 plus or minus square root of 135 squared, 135 squared, and plus, sorry, I said 135. Wait, it's 135 squared because it's b squared minus 4 times a, which is negative 16, times c, which is 15, and everything over 2 times negative 16. And using the calculator again, that will be, let's do the square root. Second x squared, and we have 135 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times 15. And that will be 134.96. Let's take to decimal places. we go back to this 134.96. That should be here. Negative 135 plus or minus 134.96 over 30 over negative 32. Okay, and that will be negative 1 will be t will be negative 135 minus 134.96 over 32, or the other answer will be t equals 135, negative 135, negative 135 plus 134.96 over 32. Okay, those are the, what is important is to set the equation equals 0 and solve for t using the quadratic formula. And next, we have the function x negative x squared plus 4x minus 3. They ask us to graph this one, find the vertex, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and find one of the points to do it that. And what will be the vertex for this one? The vertex for this one, negative b over 2a, that means x, the x vertex will be negative b, which is negative 4 over negative, 2 times negative 1. That will be negative 4 over negative 2, that will be 2. Okay, and y will be, the y vertex will be negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 3. And that will be negative 4 plus 8, 4 times 2 is 8, minus 3. And that will be 1. That the vertex will be x equals 2 and y equals 1. The x-intercept. The x-intercept is when y equals 0. That means you have g of x equals 0. That means negative x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. And if we factor out the negative sign, that will be negative times x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. And we factor this out, that will be x, and 3 times 1. 3 and 1. And both have to be negative because we have a negative sign in the middle here. And this one is positive, equals 0. And we set each one 0, that means x minus 3 equals 0, that means x equals 3. And x minus 1 equals 0, that means x equals 1. And the x-intercept are 3, 0, and 1, 0. Remember, x-intercept are points, it's ordered pair. The y-intercept, you just put x equals 0. That means y will be negative 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 3. And that's make it y equals 3. And the y-intercept will be 0, 3. And they ask for another point. We can choose anyone. And let's see, let's say x equals 4, for example. X equals 4. And what is y? Y will be negative 4 squared plus 4 times 4 minus 3. And that will be negative 16 plus 16 minus 3. That will be equals to negative 3. And that my point will be 4, negative 3. Negative 3. And we have we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to graph to graph it. And first of all, let's start with the vertex. The vertex is 2, 1, 2, 1. That means x equals 2, y equals 1. And the y-intercept for the y, we have 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 7 plus 8 is 1 exactly. And the y-intercept is 3, 1. You have 1, 0, and 3 zeros. The x-intercept. And the y-intercept is 0, 3. The y-intercept is 0, negative 3. Sorry, it's negative 3 here. I just chopped the negative sign. 0, negative 3. Okay. And when x equals 4, y is also negative 3. That was a good point. And here is the cut. All right. And this is the graph using the 5 points. And let's go to the next question. Question number 8. And consider the function f of x equals this and round, okay. What they ask us for that one, they ask us to round to 2 decimal places when necessary, and we're going to use decimal for this one. And graph f of x, and you have to find the axis of symmetry and graph at the dashed line. But we can use color in this case. And let's go back to decimal. And we have y equals 2/3 x plus 3. 2/3 times x plus 3 squared -4. Okay. Okay, and the source for the vertex, the vertex is right here is -3, -4. And you have, okay, we have the graph. What is the vertex? The vertex is -3, -4. Okay. And what is the equation of this axis of symmetry, the symmetry line? The symmetry line is given by the shifting of the horizontal shifting. The horizontal shifting is x plus 3, and you make it 0, and solving for x, that will be x equals -3. And this is the axis of symmetry, x equals -3. What is equation? What is the equation of the line of symmetric? This is what is the vertex? We just, okay, that's, sorry, this one goes there, and it's x plus 3 equals 0. That means x equals -3. That the symmetry. And does f as a maximum or a minimum? And we just look at when we went to decimals, we just look at the graph is coming up and going down. That means has a minimum. But without the graph, we can find there's a minimum because the number in front here is positive. When it's there, that means the function admit a minimum, not a maximum. If it was negative, it will be a maximum. And we said yes, it's a minimum. And the value of this minimum is y equals the y vertex, which is -4. Okay. What are the x-intercept? The x-intercept, we have to find them from Desmo or calculator. And here you have one, and you have another one here. That means you have negative 0.5510 and -5, 4.5. Negative 0.550 and negative 5.450. Those are the two vertex. Those are the two intercept. So, and let's go back to that one, and we just get it from Desmo. It was negative 5.450 and negative 5.550. Let's make sure this is what we have. 1 second. And Desmo, yes, both are negative because we are on the left side. There's a shifting on the left side of on the graph of the function. And now, what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept, if we go back to Desmo, will be, let's go back here. We can find it here easily as well. The y-intercept is wherever, if when you plug x here, equals 0 to find the y-intercept. That means x equals 0, y will be 2/3 of 0 plus 3 squared and minus 4. That will be 0 plus 3 squared will be 3 squared, which is 9. That will be 2/3 times 9 minus 4. And cancel this out. That means 2 times 3 is 6 minus 4. That is, it is 2. That means the y-intercept is x equals 0 and y equals 2. Okay. And if we have to graph that one, we have -3, -4, -3, -4 right here. That's the vertex. That's the axis of symmetry, the symmetry line. And when x, okay, the minimum is y equals -4. Okay, we get it. And we have -5.4 something, -5, -5.4 here, and -0.55 over here. And when x equals 0, y equals 2. And this is the graph right here. All right. And next, we have this function. We have to answer some question on it. It's 6x over x squared plus 4. We have to look for which interval is increasing, which interval is decreasing, and relative maxima and relative minima if there is some. This one is on Desmo. I think I have it here. Okay. It's y equals 6x over x squared minus 4. We put it in Desmo like that. And try to put a range from -10 to +10. We get a nice graph. And to do that, you just go here, use this one, and you just set it. Okay, -10, 10, and -6, 6 plus 48, or -7, plus 7, 10, 10 will be okay as well. And you will have a shape like that. And we need the point where the function increase or decrease, the interval. And this one is the minimum. That one is the maximum. From -infinity to the minimum, there is a decreasing. As the decreasing also from 2 to infinity. That means you have two intervals. We have increasing. Increasing will be from -2 to 2. Okay, and decreasing should be from -infinity to -2 union 2 to infinity. And let's take a look of it once again. Okay, from -2 to +2, it's increasing, going from left to right, going up. And here is decreasing, going down, and it's decreasing again, going down. That's why we have decreasing on -infinity to -2, and also from 2 to infinity. And let's go back to just the next question. A relative maximum at x equals and x equals -2. We have a maximum at x equals 2. At x equals 2, we have a maximum. And the maximum value was 1.5. It's the opposite for the other one. It's 1.5. And at x equals 1, at x equals, the maximum was 1.5. And the minimum was -1.5 at x equals -2. The range, this is a good question, the range. And this case, in this case, since the local maximum is the lowest, the local minimum is the lowest value, and the local maximum also is the highest value, that means the range will be from -1.5 to +1.5, because no y value greater than that and no y value lower than that. That's from -1.5 to +1.5. Okay, from -1.5 to +1.5. That's the range. And we move to the next one. And make sure to use the negative sign when appropriate. The negative sign on the graph may be hard to read, cut from the origin here. And the function has a relative maximum. And this one, this is a relative maximum that we call local maximum, relative maximum. Over here, why it's relative is because if you go here, you have high value. But at this point, there's a local maximum of 0 at x equals 0. Okay? And the function has a relative minimum of -4 at x equals 2. -4 at x equals 2. And the function is decreasing on what interval? And he's increasing because it's going up. This one is decreasing because since it's going from 0 to the negative side. And that means here from 0 to 2, the function is increasing. From 0 is decreasing, sorry, to 2. Okay, the function is decreasing from 0 to 2. And solve the quadratic equation by computing square. By computing square, we have x squared plus 6x plus 25 equals 0. The first thing we have to do is to isolate my constant term, 25 minus 25. And what we have is x squared plus 6x equals -25. And reaching there, we look for a number that can make this a perfect square. And this number will be over 2 squared. And remember, A is 1 here, B is 6, and C was 25. Okay? B over 2 squared, that will be, and this one will be 6 over 2 squared. That will be 3 squared, which is 9. And when we write this function, that will be, and we added both sides, 9 both sides, that will be x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals negative 25 and plus 9. X squared, when we make this a perfect square, the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 9 is 3. And we use the sign here, that x plus 3 squared equals negative 25 minus 9 is negative 14. And now we take the square root of both sides, square root of both sides. That will be x plus 3 equals plus or minus square root of negative 14. Or negative 14 is negative 1 times 14. Should be square root of negative 1 times square root of 14. Square root of negative 1 is I. That will be I square root of 14. And remember, we still have a plus or minus sign that we have to carry with us. Okay? And that will be x equals plus or minus I square root of 14. X plus 13, sorry. X plus 13 x plus 13 plus what x plus, oh, that's not that, maybe x just select something. Okay, x plus I just lost everything. That will be x squared 1. And let me just share this and share it. New one person. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. And we have x squared. I don't know. I just highlight something. One second, I just moved something else. Okay. And this is the completing square problem here. We have x squared plus 6x plus 25 equals 0. And we subtract 25 both sides. And we have x squared plus 6x equals negative 25. Looking for b over 2 squared, which is 6 over 2 squared. And that this is 9. And we have x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals negative 25 plus 9. And my perfect square would be x plus 3 squared equals negative 14. Taking the square root of both sides, and that would be x plus 3 equals plus or minus square root of negative 14. And we have, whenever we have a negative sign, that there is a I that go outside of the square root, that means plus or minus square root 14. And x plus 3, subtract 3 from both sides, that will be x equals negative 3 plus or minus square root of 14. And the two solution will be x equals negative 3 minus square root of 14, or x equals negative 3 plus square root of 14. This one is the same thing. You just keep one step. You can do it. X squared minus 6x equals negative 1. And this one, we have 5w squared equals 12w plus 9. What we have to do is to bring everything on same side. And we have 5w minus 12w minus 9. 5w squared minus 12w minus 9 equals 0. And if we factor this, we have 5w in w, and 9 is 3 times 3, or 9 times 1. That is, we use 3 times 3. Okay. Let them discuss that one. I have 5w minus 5w and 5 and w, and we have 3 times 3. And we have 3 times 5 is 15. And 15 minus 3 will be 12. That means will be negative 3 and positive 3. And the solution will be equals 0. So the solution will be 5w plus 3 equals 0. That means negative 3 and 5w equals negative 3. And w will be negative 5 over 3. And w minus 3 equals 0. Plus 3. Sorry, I just have something here that I have to fix. It's 5W minus 3 here, minus 3. And I have to add the 3 both sides. That will be positive 3, that will be positive 5 over 3. Positive 3, 3 over 5. And this one, plus 3, that will be W equals 3. And we have two values for W. W equals 3 and W equals 3 over 5. Okay. And for quadratic formula, we already used it before. Let's go to that one. We have absolute value of 5x minus 10 equals 30. And that means we have 5x minus 10 equals 30, or 5x minus 10 equals negative 30. And this one plus 10, we have 5x equals 40, because that cancels out. And x will be 40 over 5. That will be x equals 8. And this one plus 40 plus 10, and that will be 5x equals negative 20 divided by 5. That will be x equals negative 4. Those are the two solutions for that one. And this one, we have absolute value of negative 7x plus 12 minus 22 equals 15. And what we have to do only is to keep this like that, negative 7x plus 12. And you add 22 both sides. You isolate your numbers. That will be 15 plus 22 is 37. And now you go to the same process as that one. You just do negative 7x plus 12 equals 37, or negative 7x plus 12 equals negative 37. And this one is inequality. And when you have negative, if you have absolute value of a, of x less than a, you can write it as a between negative x, x is between negative a and positive a. And this one, my x have absolute value of negative 2x minus 7 less than 8. I can say I have negative 8 less than the inside, which is negative 2x minus 7 less than 8. And add 7 both sides. That will be 9. No, sorry, 7. Sorry, add 7, negative 1. That will be negative 1 less than negative 2x and less than 15. And divide by negative 2 both sides. And we have to flip it. That will be negative 15 over 2 less than x less than negative 1 over 2. And your solution set will be, parenthesis, since we don't have equal sign, will be negative 15 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. This is that one. That one is done another way because it's greater than. You just have 5x plus 8 greater than or equals to 3, or 5x plus 8 less than or equals to negative 3. And that one will be plus 8 minus 8 both sides. That will be 5x greater than or equals to 3. So 3 minus is negative 5. Mhm. And divided by 5, both sides. That will be 1. That will be x greater than or equals to negative 1. And this one will be negative, that was negative 3. Negative 8, negative 8. That should be, and 5x less than or equals to negative 13. And divide by 5. Divide by 5. That means x will be less than or equals to negative 13 over 5. And this is my line. I have negative 13 over 5, smaller than negative 1, negative 1. And my first one, greater than negative 1, going that way. My second one, and less than negative 13, it goes this way. That means the solution set will be negative infinity to negative 13 over 5, union negative 1 infinity. And this one, next time, what time is it? Time is over. We have negative 4. You have to find f of x plus h first, because they asked us to find f of x. F of x plus h, you just plug in x plus h for x, plus 3 times x plus h, and that will be squared over here. 4 times x squared. X plus h squared is 2 plus 2hx plus h squared, and plus 3x plus 3h. And that will be 4x squared plus 8hx plus 4h squared plus 3x plus 3h. Okay? And now we have f of x plus h minus f of x over h will be 4x squared plus 8hx plus 4h squared plus 3x plus 3h minus 4x squared. That was negative, sorry. I don't carry negative sign here. And this negative sign will make this negative instead of positive here. Minus and minus. No, that will be plus. Plus. Okay. And I have negative 4x squared minus hx minus 4h squared plus 3x plus 3h minus, that will be positive, plus 4x squared and minus 3x. And everything will be over h. And now this negative 4x squared plus 4x squared cancel out. 3x and 3x cancel out. What I have left is 8hx plus 3h plus 3h minus 4h squared over h. And since h is common here, that will be h times 8x plus 3 minus 4h over h. And h cancel out, and the answer will be 8x plus 3 minus 4h. The answer. And they asked to simplify the expression, and this is an exercise with the I. The square root of negative 28 will be the square root of negative 1 times 4. 28 is 7 times 4 times 7. And that will be square root of 1, negative 1, times square root of 4 times square root of 7. And square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 7, say the same, because 7 is not perfect square. And time I. But I prefer 2i square root of 7. And for b is negative 2 plus square root of 48 over 4. That will be negative 2, 48, and 48, it's a 24 times 2. It's 24 times 2. Let's do it here. 24, 48, 24 times 2. And 24 is 12 times 2. And 12 is 6 times 2. And 6 is 3 times 2. And what we have two sets of 4. That means 3 times 16. And it's negative 2 plus square root of 16 times 3 over 4. That will be negative 2 over 4, split it, plus this one will be 16 out, will be 4 square root of 3 over 4. And that will negative 1/2 plus square root of 3, because 4 cancel out. Okay, that's the way we simplify this one. And thank you. I went over.